Chosen one, you're about to be carried higher. It's happening. You've reached the point where the air feels different, lighter, yet charged with a quiet force that whispers, "You're not staying where you've been." This message is a divine alert. It's not a suggestion, not a maybe, not a probability. It's a spiritual declaration. You are about to be carried higher, and the process has already begun in silence, in secret, in the places where no one sees. Heaven has authorized the shift, and your elevation is now non-negotiable. There's something sacred about this moment. Stay with this video until the end. Something in this word is tailored just for you. Something has been waiting to activate the exact second you choose to believe again. And in the comments, write your warmest, most heartfelt wishes and the number 777. That's how we energize the divine field around us. That's how we say, "I believe. I'm ready. I align." And when two or more come together with faith in the unseen, the universe responds in kind, faster, stronger, louder than ever before. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. This is the season of ascension. And for someone like you, who has endured silently, persevered when invisible, and remained loyal to a divine assignment that even you couldn't fully explain, this message is the spiritual boarding call you've been waiting for. You're not just being elevated, you are being carried. There's a difference. You're not climbing by human effort anymore. You are being lifted by divine orchestration. What's about to happen in your life is not based on effort. It's based on destiny. You see, what's carrying you higher isn't coming from this world. This is not a man-made platform. No hands will push you. No voice will vote you in. No committee will select you. The divine has already made the decision. You've passed the test, and now it's time to rise, not because you forced it, but because it was always written. Your higher dimension has been waiting for you, and now it's ready to open, not gradually, but like a curtain being pulled back in a holy instant. Chosen one, let's talk about what this elevation actually looks like, because it won't always come with a spotlight. In fact, some of you are being carried higher in silence. You're being taken to realms of peace, wisdom, confidence, and power that don't need to be announced. Your spirit is rising, and your life will reflect it soon. You may not even fully notice it at first, but the people around you will. They'll see a different glow, a stronger presence, a new clarity in your eyes. That's how God marks those He's carrying upward, through silent shifts that speak louder than words. And yes, the carrying process doesn't always feel glamorous. Sometimes it feels like discomfort. Sometimes it feels like confusion. But in reality, that turbulence you're experiencing is elevation. The pressure is not punishment. It's proof. Proof that the old level is breaking off of you. Proof that the old version of you cannot survive at the next altitude. That's why you're shedding things. People, habits, environments. Because you're being transitioned, not by your own strength, but by divine intervention. Do you feel the urgency? That sense that you can't go back to the way things used to be? That's because your soul is already rising before your circumstances catch up. Your thoughts have expanded. Your expectations have changed. Your inner world is being rebuilt to match your new dimension. You are not who you used to be. You're no longer aligned with small thinking, limited vision, or people who play it safe. You were never created to stay grounded. You were designed to rise. But let's be clear, being carried higher doesn't mean you won't have to let go. In fact, letting go is a part of being lifted. You can't hold on to every comfort zone, and still expect to soar. You can't carry bitterness, fear, or past identities into the next chapter. That's why certain doors closed. That's why some relationships dissolved. You didn't lose them. Your calling outgrew them. And though it hurt, it made room for what's coming next. For the new elevation, for the higher frequency, for the greater impact. This is a calling into uncommon territory. Where others sink, you will float. Where others panic, you will breathe peace. Where others fall apart, you will remain unshaken. Because you're not being elevated by effort, you're being carried by grace. And grace doesn't need your perfection. It only needs your surrender. The more you let go, the higher you rise. The more you trust, the stronger the lift. This is not about striving. This is about allowing. Surrender is the strategy now. Chosen one, this moment is sacred because it marks the crossing point between the version of you who waited and the version of you who walks in it. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking into new rooms, into higher authority, into divine influence, into creative power, into platforms you didn't ask for but are fully prepared to handle. Because while you were hidden, heaven was building. While you were isolated, God was constructing the very thing that would carry you higher than you've ever imagined. Don't be surprised when your name is mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. Don't be surprised when resources come from unknown sources. Don't be shocked when the favor on your life makes people uncomfortable. You were always meant to be the exception. You were never meant to blend in. You are the blueprint. You are the interruption. You are the answer they didn't see coming. And now, the time has come for you to rise. Not later, not someday, but now. There is a shift happening even as you watch this. And it's not just happening outside of you. It's happening inside of you. You're starting to see things differently. You're no longer moved by distractions. Your spirit is quieter, more focused, more aligned. You're beginning to recognize your value, not in what you do, but in who you are. And that realization alone is elevation. You don't need applause. You need alignment. You don't need approval. You need awareness. You don't need more effort. You need more surrender. You're not who you were a year ago, even 3 months ago. Something has been rewired, refined, reprogrammed. You've stepped into a new frequency, and everything that's not aligned with it is falling away. Not because you're broken, but because you're rising. What's leaving your life is not rejection. It's redirection. What's detaching is not punishment. It's preparation. Everything that's happening is setting the stage for your elevation. And hear this clearly. You are not rising for yourself alone. This is bigger than you. This is generational. What's being birthed through you is going to shift bloodlines, inspire movements, break cycles. You are the carrier of a divine assignment. You're the evidence that grace still chooses the unlikely. That elevation doesn't always make sense, but it always has a purpose. You are rising not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. So breathe, chosen one. Breathe deeply. Stand tall. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to expand, to stretch, to accept what you once felt unworthy of. Because the truth is, you're not just being elevated, you are becoming elevation. Your presence is a portal. Your voice is a vibration. Your obedience is unlocking realms you can't even fully understand yet. But you will. Soon. This is the beginning of a higher walk, a deeper knowing, a more powerful life. You are being carried, not by the winds of chance, but by the breath of divine purpose. You are rising, and nothing, no delay, no distraction, no opposition can stop what has already been set in motion. It's happening, right now. And you are ready. There's a stirring in your atmosphere, chosen one, that signals something has shifted even if you can't yet name it. A frequency has changed. What once felt heavy is beginning to lift. What once felt unclear is beginning to sharpen. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted above. It's not about pace anymore. It's about grace. And grace is doing what effort could never accomplish. It is removing the old weight and preparing you to travel light. You don't need everything you thought you did. You're discovering that some of the things you were holding on to were only useful for the lower levels. But now you're headed higher. And at this new altitude, the unnecessary must fall away. The higher you go, the more clarity you will receive about what is truly aligned with your soul's elevation. This isn't just a spiritual change, it's a complete recalibration of who you are and where you're headed. Elevation often comes with separation, not to harm you, but to heal you. It is a divine act of refinement. You're not losing your foundation, you're strengthening your roots. You're not becoming someone else. You're becoming more of who you were always meant to be. And yes, it feels strange. The old patterns no longer satisfy. The old conversations no longer excite you. The old environments feel foreign now. That's the confirmation that you've already outgrown what no longer matches your next level. Don't try to go back. Don't try to explain your growth to those who aren't growing. Don't apologize for the new rhythm you're moving in. You're not being arrogant, you're being obedient. The time has come for you to trust the rhythm of your elevation, even if it confuses others. Because this is a solo ascent. This is a personal call. And not everyone will understand the level you're being pulled to. You've been obedient in the wilderness. You've shown strength when no one was watching. You've chosen purpose over popularity, growth over comfort. And now heaven is rewarding what was done in secret. This reward isn't just about tangible blessings. It's about the transformation you've endured. You didn't just wait for your moment. You prepared for it. And now, because of that inner transformation, the outer rewards are on their way. Being carried higher means learning to live in a new frequency of trust. It means not having all the answers and still saying yes. It means moving without needing validation. You are no longer at the level where you require evidence to believe. Your faith is the evidence. Your consistency is the evidence. Your survival through storms is the evidence. And that evidence is enough to activate the next realm of favor. This next level will be characterized by what didn't make sense before suddenly clicking into place. People who dismissed you will be drawn to you, not because you changed, but because your elevation made you visible. You didn't become more valuable. You've always been valuable. But now, your value is finally being seen. Now, your light is too bright to ignore. And the places where you were once overlooked will call your name, not out of pity, but out of honor. Chosen one, let this truth settle deep into your spirit. You are no longer waiting for the wind to blow. You are the wind. You are no longer waiting for opportunity to knock. You are the door. You are no longer waiting to be invited. You are the invitation. Everything that's coming into your life is not by accident. It's by alignment. You're a magnet now. A magnet for miracles, for divine favor, for sudden breakthroughs that seem too good to be true, yet are perfectly timed to your rise. People will ask how it happened so fast, and you will smile, knowing it wasn't sudden at all. It was the quiet work, the inner work, the faith when nothing was changing, the prayers when your voice trembled, the hope when everything seemed lost. That's what built your wings. That's what allowed you to soar. And now, you're flying. Not because you tried harder, but because you trusted deeper. It's time to release the idea that rising must be dramatic. Sometimes, the most powerful elevation is the quietest. It happens in how you respond differently, in how you no longer take things personally, in how you choose peace over performance. This is your sign that you're maturing into your divine self, and that maturity is magnetic. It attracts the right opportunities, the right people, the right timing, all without forcing anything. Elevation is not an escape. It is a responsibility. It comes with a new level of discipline, focus, and vision. But don't be intimidated. You are not stepping into something foreign. You're stepping into something familiar to your soul. You've known this version of yourself in your dreams, in your visions, in those quiet moments when you imagined something more. That more is no longer a fantasy. It's becoming your reality. As you rise, be mindful of the energy you carry. Protect your peace. Guard your joy. Stay grounded in humility, even as you elevate in authority. The more power you receive, the more surrender is required. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Your fruit will speak for you. Your presence will shift rooms. Your wisdom will carry weight. And it will all be rooted in the journey you walked with integrity and courage. This is also the season where you realize that not everyone can come with you. And that's okay. Some people were only assigned to the chapter of your preparation, not the chapter of your promotion. Don't feel guilty. Honor what was. Release what is no longer. And trust that what's ahead is better than anything you're leaving behind. The climb may get lonelier, but it also gets purer, realer, lighter. And that lightness is a signal that you're aligned. Look around at your life. Even if everything hasn't changed externally, notice how much you've changed internally. That shift inside of you is the beginning of your rising. When your mind no longer spirals into worry. When your soul feels calm even in uncertainty. When your spirit knows something good is coming, even without proof. That's the power of being carried. You are no longer navigating by sight. You are moving by spiritual instinct. There's a version of you that's already living in the future you prayed for. There's a version of you that's walking in peace, commanding respect, attracting overflow, and being divinely supported in every area. That version of you isn't far off. It's being activated right now. As you hear these words, something in your soul is awakening. A deep recognition, a spiritual knowing, and that knowing is calling you higher. Chosen one, this isn't a motivational cliché. This is a divine reality. You are being moved into new realms of favor, into unseen access, into unstoppable momentum. Don't look for familiar markers to validate it. Trust the signs, the inner nudges, the sudden clarity, the dreams that feel more vivid, the synchronicities that keep showing up. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Get ready. Everything you thought was delayed is being fast-tracked. Everything that looked closed is now opening. Everything that felt stuck is now flowing. You are not just going higher. You are being carried higher. That means you don't have to push your way up. You just have to position yourself in trust, surrender, and expectancy. That's the posture of ascension. You are being upgraded in silence, equipped in private, positioned in peace. And when it's time, it won't just be you who feels the shift. Everyone connected to you will witness the transformation. They'll see the glow, the grace, the glory, and they'll know, without a doubt, that you didn't climb this high alone. You were carried by something greater, something divine, something unstoppable. You are about to rise with such ease that it will silence every lie ever spoken about you. every limitation placed on you, every doubt planted in your spirit. This is your time. This is your proof. This is your flight. And no force in the universe can keep you grounded now. Chosen one, as the shift continues, you're going to feel it more in your being than you'll see it with your eyes at first. You may still wake up to the same room, walk the same streets, face the same routine, but everything about you is changing. Elevation doesn't always begin with movement. It often begins with realization. Your inner climate is rising to match the atmosphere of your divine future, and soon, your outer life will catch up. The pull you're feeling? It's not imagination. It's divine invitation. And this invitation isn't to just rise, it's to stay risen. It's one thing to be lifted once. It's another thing to be sustained there. This part of the process is about stability. It's about spiritual maturity. Because God is not just interested in giving you a moment of glory, He's preparing you for a lifestyle of divine elevation. You are being trained in stillness, in surrender, in obedience, because what's coming to you must rest on shoulders that have been fortified by fire. This is why you were hidden so long, why it felt like everyone else was being chosen, while you were being overlooked. You weren't being overlooked. You were being over-prepared. You weren't forgotten. You were being formed. The higher the call, the deeper the refinement. That silence was a signal that heaven was investing deeply in you. You were never out of sight. You were under construction. And now, the scaffolding is being removed. The unveiling is beginning. You are no longer who you were when you first started this journey. You've become something stronger, clearer, more potent. You don't flinch the way you used to. You don't question your worth the way you used to. You've been stripped of illusions and are now wrapped in a clarity that few get to carry. That clarity is your power now.